Jackson here at Song Mentor. Today's song was recorded in 1956 at Sun Studios under the production of Sam Phillips, and it was originally written as a ballad by Johnny Cash backstage in Texas one night, apparently as his pledge of devotion to his brand new wife. The title I Walk the Line was suggested by Carl Perkins, a fellow Sun recording artist and buddy of Johnny Cash's. As an interesting side note, he hums a lot in this song, and when asked, "How come you always hum in this song, Johnny?" he said, "Well, I hum to find my pitch." And you'll see that as we get through the lesson, as the song has several key changes. Here's Johnny Cash, I Walk the Line. All right, well, here are the chords you need for I Walk the Line, and keep in mind that as I tell you about the chords, in some cases we're not really playing full chord. We're doing that kind of thing. We're picking and strumming muted and whatnot, but we'll get to that later. But the chords that you actually need are an open E major, a B7 chord, an open A major, an open D major, and an open G major. And considering that there are 3 key changes and each key uses 3 chords in it, there are only 5 chords altogether, which is pretty neat because some of the keys use duplicate chords from the previous key. Anyway, those are the 5 that you need for the song. Alright, I want to talk to you about the Johnny Cash picking strumming. It's not really a full strum, it's more of a feel thing. And a lot of it's accomplished by muting, of course, with a... And for each of the 5 chords that I've told you about, there's a root note and then kind of a secondary note. And this is almost what we're trying to do here, is kind of duplicate the bass line. So for example, for the E chord, it's the E note and then the B note on the A string, which you're playing anyway. I mean, there it is, you're playing it. So we're just gonna... So the strumming pattern is pick, strum, strum, pick, strum, strum, pick, strum, strum, pick, strum, strum, pick, strum, strum. The first pick is on the root note, the second pick is on that secondary note. And that's what it's like for all 5 chords. Now for the B7 chord, it's going to be the B and the F sharp, and the way we accomplish that is by you're just moving from your B7 position where your second finger is on the B note to the F sharp note. Again, pick, strum, strum, pick, strum, strum. Okay? For the A, it's just the open A and the open E, and it's particularly important to mute these so we don't get... Okay, for the D, it's open D and open A. And then for the G, it's the G note on the 6th string and the open D note. So that's the strumming and picking for the 5 chords that you need. Alright, let's pick through this intro. It's really quite a neat intro because it moves from basically the 3 chord progressions that we're working with, 3 keys, and it works through them using an O, open, 2, 4 sort of climb thing. Okay, so let's track that. There's the first part. O, 2, 4, A chord, O, 2, 4, A. Then it's the same thing, except it's O, 2, 4 on the 5th string, D chord. Then back down, so open D. And that's the only time, instead of going from A to E back to A, it goes to the higher E. And this time it goes, okay, so open A, 4, 2, open E. Then there's an E, F sharp, E. So B, B, A, G sharp, F sharp, E. And that finally takes us into this. So let's go through it one more time slowly. There's the intro. Okay, our first verse begins with the E, where we ended up at the end of the intro. And in this verse we're going to feature a B7 and an A as well. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Second verse, we're now featuring A, E, and D. I find it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day is through. Yes, I'll admit that I'm a fool for you. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Now we're going to switch to D. As sure as night is dark and day is light, I keep you on my mind both day and night. And happiness I've known proves that I'm right. Because you're mine, I walk the line. So and this is how it sequences. It now goes back to the A, and then finally finishes with in the E key. So we get a change from the key of E to the key of A to the key of D, back to A, back to E. This is actually a palindromic key change. In other words, it's one of those words like auto that is spelled the same forwards as it is backwards. The sequence of chords is the same forwards. If you played the song from the back end to the front end, it would be the same sequence as from the front end to the back end. So that's going to give you an idea of the chord progression and how to work through the verses for I Walk the Line. It's time for a playthrough. Okay, let's do a playthrough, a full playthrough. One thing I didn't mention to you is that if you actually want to play along with the record here, you're going to need to capo the first fret, because all the chords I've shown you are correct, but they're actually played with a capo on the first fret. So Johnny's actually up 1/2 step higher than we're playing this song, which makes it challenging to sing that second verse, but it's much easier to play. It's a simple adjustment if you want to put a capo on the first fret. Okay, here we go. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I find it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day is through. Yes, I'll admit that I'm a fool for you. Because you're mine, I walk the line. As sure as night is dark and day is light, I keep you on my mind both day and night. And happiness I've known proves that it's right. Because you're mine, I walk the line. You've got a way to keep me on your side. You give me cause for love that I can't hide. For you I know I'd even try to turn the tide. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Okay, well, fine tuning. I think you know what I'm going to say with this one. One thing is to make sure it's muted, and practice that and work on that. And the second thing, and I messed up a couple times there, but as you practice and get better at it, hit that primary note, that root note, and then the secondary note fairly consistently. So it's Johnny Cash, the Man in Black. There you go. I Walk the Line here on songmentor.com.